So this is Ajay Tripathi, and I'm going to demonstrate my dockerization prototype. And in this video I'm going to cover the following topics. First of all, I'm going to show you the version of all the tools that I'm using. Then I'm going to talk about the Docker images and the folder structure. Then I'm going to deploy the Docker images, and next I'll test the OpenWISP instances, delete them, and in the end we'll see the persistent storage. So on to the next point, I am going to show you the version of all the tools that I'm using. I am on Ubuntu 18.04, and you can pause the video for the rest of the versions. The next point is Docker images and folder structure. The first thing, let's talk about the folder structure. I have built a directory here and a common directory there, and from this common directory I'm importing the settings file that is shared amongst all the containers. At the bottom of this settings file I have the module settings imported, and all the modules have their specific settings, including the installed apps in this file, so that we can avoid typing the same settings again and again. The next is Docker file. So all the Docker files are saving the environment variables, the default environment variables, and installing all the Python packages and the system requirements. So next let's move to the next point, and that is deploy. We have three options to deploy. The first is Web UI, the other two are kubectl and Terraform. We are going to use the Web UI to deploy right now, and I'm going to show you glimpses of kubectl and Terraform. So let's go to the Kubernetes cluster. So this is a Kubernetes clusters, and I have a lot of options here. I'm going to describe the ones that I'm going to use. One is persistent volumes. We're going to add two volumes, one for the Django media folder and another one for PostgreSQL database. And we're going to deploy replication controllers. They will create pods for us. Pods are the parents that store our containers. And the next what we're going to do is add some services. Services allow us to access the container from outside the cluster. And the other thing that we're going to start with is config maps. Config maps are the configurations that we're going to use to modify or manipulate our containers. These include settings like our Django secret key. So I'm going to take this config map and I'm going to create here, and now I have both of the config maps. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the persistent volumes. These volumes are, as I've mentioned before, one for PostgreSQL and the other were for OpenWISP controller for the permanent media user uploaded files. So I'm going to add them. So this creates the persistent volumes over here. And the next what we're going to do is we are going to add all the services so that we can access our containers from outside the cluster. My machine's IP is this. That's why I've added this as the external IP. Otherwise you can add your IP. You'll have to manipulate it for your system. Let's add this. So we have all the external IPs. So for example, network topology is working on this port, and a dashboard is working on this port, and so on. So next let's go to apply the replication controllers. So next let's apply the replication controllers, and let's start with them one by one, or rather let's take three of them. And I'm taking the Redis container, the Redis one over here, PostgreSQL, and the OpenWISP dashboard over here, and I've already copied them, so let's apply them. So this is going to create all the containers. Let's wait for a while. So it's been a little while, and I think the container must be accepting connections. Okay, it is. So let's go to the external IP. So first of all, we can see that both dashboard, PostgreSQL, and Redis all are up, and we can go to the external IP, and we can log in here by the default credentials, and here we can see the dashboard. Next, let's deploy the rest of the containers as well. So first of all, the dashboard was supposed to migrate for the rest of the containers as well. So let's add them as well. Okay, it will take a while for them to start up, and in the meanwhile, let me show you the options that I have for these containers. Okay, so these environment variables have been imported from the config maps that we added earlier. And okay, it's been a while and all the containers are up, and we should be able to access them from their external IP. So let's do that. This is the external IP of the OpenWISP topology, network topology, and we can access with the default credentials. Okay, the same is true for the dashboard. We already logged it in. This is the OpenWISP radius, and the final one is OpenWISP controller. So let's open that. Okay, so this is the admin interface of the OpenWISP controller, and let's upload a floor plan. I'm going to upload any photo here. Oh, this has to be an indoor location, whatever. I'm not sure if I need to do that, but let's just do that. Okay, so I've added a floor plan here, and it is visible, and it should be stored in our persistent volume rather than the container. So let's check that. Okay, I already know the location of the container, but let me show you. It should be here in the persistent volume. So it's here in /mnt/media. So let's open that. Okay, we need to be root to do that. Okay, so let's go to that location. Okay, we have floor plans. Okay, this is the image that we uploaded. Let's open that. Okay, so we can access the image. So let's go back to the admin interface. Okay, so now let's go back and let's go to our next point. So we've already explored web UI, and let's talk about kubectl and Terraform. So there's not a lot to show around here. I'm just going to open another terminal. So like we uploaded all the configurations from the web UI, we can also do the same using this command. Kubectl apply -f, and whatever we want to apply. For example, this is already applied, so it's not going to make any changes, but this is how we apply the files. Next I'm going to talk about Terraform. So Terraform is also nothing special. Let's go to the folder Terraform, and to begin with, you just need to Terraform init, since everything is already installed. So it's going to say Terraform successfully initialized, and then we can apply whatever we did from the web UI directly through the terminal just by one command. And since we already have those settings there, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to type no and leave it. So instead, I'm going to show you the Terraform files. So the structure is as follows. There's one variable file here, and in this variable file, I can set all the variables that I want in all the other files. For example, my external IP, as I've said, is this. That's why I've set it to this IP. You can change it for your machine. Similarly, I've set all the instances for the containers as one. You can manipulate that. You can add more variables, and the config maps is for these same deployments over here. So I've already tested the OpenWISP instances. So let's go to the next point, and that is deleting the instances. So deleting the pod does nothing, because a replication controller will create a new pod. So let's just instead go to the replication controllers and start deleting all the replication controllers. Okay, so it's going to take a while, so let's wait for it. So it's been a couple of minutes and all the replication controllers are down, and that means all the pods are down as well. Only the services are remaining, but they won't respond anymore. And the configurations are remaining, and we also have these volume claims and persistent volumes. So let's go to these persistent volumes now. Okay, yeah, I'm in this folder. So the persistent volumes still remain. I can even delete these two. It's going to take a while. Okay, now I'm going to refresh the page. Takes a while. Oh, I think I need to delete the claims first. Okay. Let's refresh that. Okay, the claims are now deleted and the persistent volumes are deleted as well. But here I can still access the floor plans. Okay, the image is still available. So next. Okay, so that covers all the points for our demonstration. Please let me know if you'd like to see anything more. Thank you.